advice to the youngsters, and I think a lot of stuff has already been advice. But I'm going to say this, and it's not. And I'm prepared for pushback. Okay, I'm going to choose violence. Now, I can personally say I have not been romantically involved with any of the people on the panel today. So I'm going to say what I have to say without having any experiences with them and the like. I believe that just being in a sorority, you know, I ain't got high numbers, but being in a sorority, being around women, being connected in sisterhood with a lot of people, that many men aren't as good as they think they are at sex. Okay, here we go. We have to have a pivot here.
Wait, get myself together here.
And I believe this is important to discuss because he's gonna throw the flag on the. Oh, now they're gonna throw the flag on me.
I'm raised. I'm listening.
I'm gonna say this because I think it needs to be discussed in this type of setting. That so many men like to lead with their little head and not their big head when it comes to seeing something that they like. That is like, ooh. Like that feeling, let me touch you, girl. Come here, let me show you something. That kind of energy makes some men skip past the part that could make things a lot more pleasurable for women if they pause to like really get to know women and have conversations about their pleasure and about sex and about what kind of things do you like and what kind of things. Like all of these type of get to know you things related to sex, as opposed to being like, yeah, she gonna be over here for Netflix. I'm gonna try to get her
Right in.
and then like just hope for the best. Like you just gonna lay down your stuff, like whatever you did with the last people, and like hope for the best. Like that's gonna get her right there. I feel like that's in terms of dating and stuff. Like we have to have more conversations about, first of all, removing sexual shame from a conversation and being able to talk as mature adults as you're getting to know somebody. Part of that is like where you from, who your people, but part of that is like, so what are you into? Like what's your thing? Like what like, and I think those kind of conversations from the perspective of a nerd help give you insights that can make you better at it. But in the dating scene, I feel like that's something that's missing, is that people don't want to talk about sex, like a part of everything else that is talked about. And for that reason, I think a lot of guys are not as good at sex. They just want to hop in there and just get theirs.
Well, I think I've been sexual kind of my whole life. And I think that when you're younger, you feel like you get your 1-2 step down and you feel like, shit, this is the 1-2 step. It is going to work regardless of who it is, whether they black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. It's going to always work because that is what has worked in the past. But like, once you get older, it took a person I was dating to really break it down. Okay, that don't work for me. And it brings you, like, what?
Sister was empowered. Sister was empowered. Because women be out here letting y'all make it because they love y'all and they be compassionate and they love how they feel about you. They don't want to offend people. And they be letting y'all, making y'all think y'all make it. But I be hearing stories and I be like, oh no. No, we too old. In the big age, you got to be able to say, hey, this is what works for me. This is what does. Slow down.
Yeah.
Well, that's where it comes with communication.
What are you doing?
You gotta, some
ease up.
Yeah, some women don't communicate and let people know what they like and what they don't like, and some do. And as what I would give advice for a youngster is, everything don't work for everybody. For
sure.
Just because that worked for this girl and you thought you was doing your thing and you tried it with somebody else, it might not work. Yeah, you gotta find out what works. Different strokes for different folks.
Different strokes.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks.
And as a woman, don't shy away from an opportunity to tell somebody if they feel like that they've done the right thing. Don't shy away from an opportunity to tell them, hey.
They be proud.
Yeah.
They be peacock proud.
It can be a teachable moment.
Or give them subtle hints.
Yeah,
like,
teachable moment.
No.
Teachable moment.
Don't give
let me bring something to the table.
You can give a teachable moment.
But the thing is, the ego. The ego is there. You really want to, hey, let's talk about this. But at the same time, sir.
Bashia,
because how do y'all respond as guys?
No, but hold on. Before they answer, let me say, because this is the thing. If they were teachable, like I just said in my setup, they would want to ask you afterwards. Like, so, like, what did you enjoy? Or, like, what could I have done? I'm telling y'all.
Or even before.
This is I'm talking about the after. I'm not like right after, like, where you laying there. Like an exit interview.
I do.
You want to know. So, like, how was it for you? Like, what could have been better? Like, what? And I'm telling you, because when I did experience that, it was a nerd. And it's like, it was uncomfortable at first. Like, what are we going to talk about it? that's weird.
Yeah.
But it's not weird because then the notes was applied the next time, but the feedback was applied. And it's more men need to be talking. See, the thing about men, they don't talk about it to each other. Women, we'll sit and have a whole round table discussion about sex. What you do, what you don't. How you do that, girl? Do what? What your hands do? Where? What you do? We'll have a whole conversation. We'll air it out. I never did that before, girl. Show me how to do that. And the men, I feel like y'all be sitting around like,
thinking they got it all. Yeah, I got it all together.
But I've heard women say that if it's something that they're not invested in, what's the point of even telling the guy?
That's good.
What's the point of even telling him?
That's what.
If I'm not gonna go back with him, why tell him?
It's just goodbye, sir. Very good. Goodbye.
I guess it just depends on
Namaste
getting
to you,
those
sir.
expectations and that communication to figure out what are we doing. Because if that's what it is, if we Netflixing and chilling, I'm gonna talk about it. But if it's not an investment where I want more, we won't even get to that point.
Netflix
I'm not gonna lay
Nobody's
down.
gonna be doing all that.
What did I say?
Netflix and chill is a euphemism. But you just, okay, I just want to make sure. Netflix and chill doesn't mean actually.
That's exactly. Stay with it. But I won't even get to the point where I will have to give you notes. I won't even lay down with you
Just
if I don't even see.
Thank you, sir, for that. Namaste.
Yeah, it won't even get to that point
in peace.
Because I'm not invested in
Don't
you like
come
that.
back over
So
here
I'm
no
not
more.
going to give you any notes because we're not even going to go
They'll
there.
be the worst ones though, because they'll won't be your boyfriend.
I'm gonna give you real. So
Y'all really
I'm
don't
gonna
want to
speak
hear
from
what we have to
my
say.
man point of view.
Y'all don't really want
Go
to
ahead,
hear
Keron. We ready.
Sex is sex.
Yeah.
Sometimes where it's like I'm here for sex. For me, for sex, for me, sex.
Okay.
And then there are other times where I'm here for both of us.
Oh, Keron.
Sure,
I love
sure.
that. Say more. Okay, so sometimes you don't care about this other person's pleasure. I'm here for what I'm here for.
I do. That's Keron is speaking for Keron.
I'm with him.
But it's probably no, but I feel like there probably was a time where you felt that way too, especially if you were younger about like what we're here for. Okay, it's just booty partners.
Sometimes it's like,
just
yeah, you give me feedback. That's great. Appreciate it. Because
I don't care to get better.
I know that this may not.
you.
This is not doing. Just like I think the women feel the same way. This is not going where it needs to go.
It just is.
Right?
Sure.
If I wanted to go somewhere, I'm already considering you.
Right.
I don't go into it not considering you.
But I think it's the ego part. I still want to, whether it's sex or not, I still want
It's
to.
your ego, yeah. You was like, she
Yeah,
don't talk about me in that
There you go.
group chat.
There you go. There you go.
When I leave, and be like,
You don't
y'all
want to be in
remember
the group
that
chat.
one?
There you go. There you go.
I don't want to I don't want to catch.
I heard about you.
Right.
But some people I feel like are also using sex as a tool for the ego. So I'm just gonna say this, because especially growing up, with very stringent views about what sex was and sin and all this stuff. Like I've had to do a lot of work to take all of that off, and a part of it for me is I do feel like, first of all, that God is concerned with matters of our heart. And I think that goes to how we're using sex or how we use money or how we use anything can be used as a tool of the ego, your body included. So when I hear songs of people like, I let him fuck, I want a car, I'm like, ugh, it's giving cringies, giving prostitution. I think like sex can be used as a tool for like, hey, maybe I just want to I want somebody to come over and make me feel good, get out of my face. Like that can be a thing too. But I think when sex is used as an extension of love, it can be a beautiful spiritual exchange between two people. It can be healing. It could be something that builds the love. And even if that's not in the long term, you're going to be together forever type situation, I do think it's important for younger people to take off the shame of, well, I shouldn't have sex because God is somewhere looking down on me and maybe he's going to curse me or like hold it against me, as opposed to the spirit of the thing. And like, is it something that you're using again? I've seen people use sex for manipulation.
That's a different podcast.
I'm gonna
That's a
serve
different
it up
episode.
to him. I'm gonna get as much out of him as I can. And the thing is, y'all, it's really it's difficult as a woman to know that you can. You see what I mean? To know that you could use your mind and body and you could finesse these men.
It's difficult to know that.
It's difficult to know
carry that
because
burden.
you have it, but you're not going. It's like having a superpower that you're not going to use. I'm not even going to do you like that, my boy, because
That's fair.
they'll be trying to possess you.
For real.
When you put that thing on. You see what I mean?
But based on what y'all
You put 'em in a
describe group
haze.
chats sometimes though, it goes both ways though, huh?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the numbers. I think the numbers are flipped. I think the numbers. I don't know, and I could just feel that way because I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like sometimes I have seen men are more likely to be manipulated. But then that's my experience because I'm a woman. Because then I hear somebody told me that I got a homeboy that when he got back available to the market, that there was a woman took him on a trip to the Bahamas and was like, it's all paid for, just come with me. And I was just like,
oh yeah,
what they doing that?
Yes.
And they was like, yeah, they doing that. Like
They doing
I couldn't even, my brain was, I was trying to math and the math wasn't mathing. Because why you can't just go by yourself? Like, why would you be paying?
Because I think people.
She wants.
No, but it's like she wasn't with him. It's like she was trying to shoot a shot.
Yeah.
No.
I want the experience, and I want to be able to flaunt that to
Absolutely.
whomever for my own ego.
Men do it. Women do. If women, if
I
we
was-
have it,
I
we
think-
can
Yeah, but I'm not doing that.
I think at the end of the day, I think that men, I'll speak for the panel, I think that that understand, like, we can blindfold ourselves and we can walk around downtown. Well, since we're downtown, I can run into a good woman.
Boom.
Anywhere.
Okay.
Y'all ain't really running into no really good men. Like, and it takes time. You're going to have to go through some things in order to get to a good man. I can do a luck of the draw and draw a name out of a hat, and it's a high probability that she's a good woman that I could possibly create
But
something.
what do you mean when you say good? I think the term is relative.
I think what he's
good woman and good man is relative.
but what he's
So
saying
who you
there's
asking?
more available.
Way more.
More
way-
available. Okay, available.
way more available.
See, that's why I'm finna
black
stay outside my
women.
race, which was also
Oh,
a
wow.
point of contention on the card.
Saw that one.
I think the black women have been pigeonholed because black men date outside their race at a rate more disproportionate to every other racial
Yeah,
group.
they got-
Please don't.
And then
that
women
data
over
at?
here like,
Where's
your
that data?
community.
No
Where's
way.
that data?
The data is
way.
out
I need to
there.
see
I
that.
saw
I
the
need to see
data.
it.
It's like
need
the
to see
NFL.
it.
That's what she said.
I know. I'm citing the hardcore numbers on y'all are more likely to date outside of your race than black women are statistically.
Well, because I think that
What's going on there? Yeah.
men like women. Heterosexual. No, seriously. Men like women. We in general. You know, if you're attracted to, we like women. Black women love black men. I think black women see the value in black men that we don't see in
we want to
ourselves.
hold the community
I want a black
down.
Y'all do.
Put it
I
on
agree.
our back.
Yeah.
I saw that question. And I was just like,
I agree.
nothing. And this is no shot to anybody else, but just there's nothing about the other race that I just find like
Come on.
he's fine. Like that's
That's
a
why I
fine
love
man. You know what I mean?
this.
Like,
Hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Depending on which one it is.
Cute.
Put that down. Put that down. Depending on who it is.
I know.
No.
And that's just maybe that's just me.
I can't.
That's me.
Like,
I'm the
I'll
same.
see an attractive other.
That's why I say cute.
He's attractive. Like, ooh, okay. Black
For the long
man.
term, it's something about him.
That's what I love. That's what I
the
love to
comment
hear.
that you hear about most
It's
black
just
women. They'll be like,
something.
but
It's just
they
different.
they like
Yeah.
the black
It's just
man.
different.
Yep.
I mean, I got black brothers. I got black
Sure.
nephews. Got a black daddy. I'm black. It's something about us. They don't do it for me.
Us just
Neither.
Like
okay.
why?
Let me say this.
Like
Okay,
why?
hold on. Before Keron goes, let me just say, in theory, I say I'm open because we are the children of God. In practice, I haven't ever dated anybody outside my race. In theory, I feel I'm open to it. They don't come to me. You know what I mean? Like I've never had one just walk up and be like, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute." And I'm, okay, Chad. You know I'm open to this. However, this is what I will say. This is what I put in the notes, is that I feel like this is what I'm going to talk to Dr. Umar about when I get an opportunity to chat with Dr. Umar. There's two things happening in our community. One, we all concur that the black man has had an experience, a traumatic experience in America, such that he has endured a lot more than men of other groups.
Sure.
Black men have to navigate more, the way you have to move in spaces, what you need as a black man is different. And then simultaneously, we hear, and black men are less likely to get the mental health that they need, even when they have the means to afford it. So what we're saying is you are uniquely positioned to experience hardship and all of this heavy shit that's going to wear you down and tear you down. And then you are less likely, even when you can afford it, to go get the help that you need. So what does that leave us as black women? Putting the healing on our backs, trying to offer our love to men, pour it on them, heal them, help save the world while we try to help ourselves and raise the kids. It's exhausting. And I feel like that's why when I see black women that get with others, that sometimes they seem lighter of spirit. There is less expected of them. They could just show up and be in their feminine and just be here. I'm here to raise my kids. I'm here to. That's an ego trip. Okay, he blew his card over. I'm waiting. Help me understand. How can we hold these two things in tandem? I want the black man now. Black man. How can we say, yes, we have experienced the most hardships and we ain't gonna get no help. And come here, black woman, stay with us. How we reconcile these?
So my experience, my younger days, I still find women of all race attractive. At my big age, it's not something that's ever gonna happen. It's just my heart, just based on the things we just described, right? Because you're exactly right. I know that the black woman understands my plight, where I've been. They understand that, and they're here to heal and help me, right? I'm too big of an age now to be in a relationship where I got to explain that healing to you.
Right,
and,
for sure.
And rely on you for that.
Yes.
And frankly, that's not even fair. Because this, it's not even fair. Because the idea of, what we've gone through as black people, it's a factual, right? And of course, people our age of other races, white people of our age of other races, they weren't the ones back there whipping our ancestors. I can agree with that. They still have some accountability. They still have to try to understand. And I think the failure is that attempt to even try to understand. And I don't have time to be doing that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast for another day.
Yeah.
Try to help somebody understand.
And so, because I'm past that age of teaching you. For sure. You're going to be who you are, and if you don't want to go learn, then that's fine. I'm going to operate on me. So that's one thing. So yes, I find women of all races attractive. I'm not gonna be with it.
But not for purposeful partnerships.
Yeah, not for purposeful partnership. All right, and then the other question was about how do we navigate our black men, and our mental conditions, and how do we deal with that in the family? I mean, I think it's clear. I mean, we just need to become more receptive to going out there and seeking help. I mean, I think part of that comes from our own families, right? Comes from our own families. I mean, I'm the first generation of people in my family who've got a therapist. My dad had no therapist. Sure,
my daddy's like, I don't need no therapy. Your mama was the crazy one.
Right.
Sure could have used a therapist, right? But I think that's what it is. We have to challenge ourselves and change. I mean, and part of that is, and the other part of that is, is my black woman can't be looking down at me as weak because I say, man, I really need some help. If I say I'm really,
I think we getting past that point though.
Yeah,
like,
we gotta
we
be
past that point. It's just the point where if you can't go, like, why is so much of that healing is placed on black women, even by themselves, to be like, I can help them. I can step in. But only God can help, baby. I love this new movement about I can't help you, heal you. That's between you, God, and your therapist. And I'm here for support. Like, what you need. I'll go pick up the kids while you get your therapy session in. And I'm here to talk, and we can debrief. But if you won't even go get help that you need, it's like, God damn, like, how am I supposed to deal with this?
I think just to talk about what you said, like in regards to like when black women are dating outside the race, they come in, they seem more calm, they seem more in control. Because I think that black men do need therapy, but at the same time, sometimes you got to get with a woman that's going to encourage you and be able to tell you. Because every woman I've been with, like, hey, you need a therapist. So you need to talk to someone. And it was always applauded, and it was always something that was pushed. But I think at the same time, like once a black man understands that and receives that and accepts that, it takes you up. It takes you so far up. Yes, dating outside your race will probably get you here. It ain't gonna get you there. And I think because like you say, we understand each other. We see things the same way in many opportunities. So I think that's important too, to basically encourage it. Yeah, he does. He definitely has to be a person that receives it and says, "I want to go out and get it." But like you said, it can be shamed for it. But I haven't really black women that I've dealt with. They always encouraging. And they first 2 times you talk to them, hey, you got a therapist? Like you talk to anybody?
Maybe first date. So tell me about your therapist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
How often do you go, or is it for trauma response, or is it just a regular part of your life?
Sure.
How do you maintain your mental health? I'd love to hear more about that.
I agree. I think it has definitely changed. I think with my generation, I mean, every relationship that I've been in, I've had a therapist and we've had a therapist.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
We had a therapist for me.
Yeah, I like that.
I think you threw that we in there.
Because let me add this though, because
it.
for me, and I'm gonna let you respond because I asked about black men. For me, I think what I realized was I was married for about a decade. All of the therapy, it was always by my request. I was always the one driving that. But also, it wasn't until the very end of my marriage that I started individual therapy. But I think when I look back now, all of the therapy was about us. I never did my individual. And so to hear you say, I have my own and we had ours, and that, like, I think the twofold approach is best. How do you maintain your own, therapy, your own personal growth? Because we're all individuals still, even when we are partnered well. And then how do you also do the maintenance, what I call tune-ups on that too? And I think avoiding one for the other is always going to be a mistake that just leaves you in a bad situation. So, okay. Go ahead, Ken. You had something?
Yeah, so for dating outside the race, for me, I'm black women. Now I like all
Mr.
women.
HBCU over here.
Well, I like all women, but it was always instilled in me. My mom was, don't even think about it.
She can't use your comb.
Yeah. It was, we produce all shades, so you can get as close as you want.
On that end of the spectrum, don't go off the spectrum.
And so that I never even, probably until I got to college, found women outside of black women even attractive, because it was just always instilled in me. So like who you like, but I'm pretty much black women. But for as men in therapy or whatever, I think with black men, if we start just encouraging to go and not waiting until we always feel if you going, you crazy, or you wait until or when you're in a relationship, people always go to therapy when they're going or through something, or you get to the divorce piece. And so one thing that I can say, when I was married, early on in the marriage, one of the things that we did besides premarital counseling, we were a part of a marriage ministry at the church, and then that required us to go through these classes. So you were able to have conversations with people that led the class that had been married 30, 40 years.
Community.
And they had an open book about their relationship. So you was like, okay, well, they went through some of the stuff, or they went through some real stuff, and this guy they didn't have sex for a year and a half, and so you started seeing some, not because they didn't want to, because of medical reasons or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
That's happening though. That's
over here like,
that's happening. It wasn't their story, somebody else's story. So you started to go, that's real love, to where and so those things right there, and then start getting involved. Most people get in those classes when they have problems in the relationship. And so the same thing with black men. If we encourage us to go and seek the help and the therapy and this and that. Because one thing about relationships, you bring in two people from two different backgrounds. They got probably some baggage, and a lot of issues in relationships are going to be childhood trauma and issues that we don't. So you already coming in with baggage. So therapy is good on both ends.
Because grown folks need a village.
I have a question for Keron though, because I would really like to know, like, how, even just within the relationship, it was discussed that the two of you all would have, the time where you go to therapy and then you do your own thing. Because I feel like me trying to make suggestions like that to somebody I formerly dated, like, I feel like it came back on me, like trying to tear me down for trying to help you up. Like, and that.
Girl, ain't nothing wrong with me. What you trying to say?
Right. Something about, literally pointing the finger back at me or trying to attack my character based on trying to offer you, or extend a hand.
He crazy.
That sounds like someone who's not ready to look at themselves. But I'll tell you what, though. I mean, my marriage. I mean, it wasn't hunky dory, obviously, because I'm no longer married, and so, it wasn't something that I ran to. I mean, I say every relationship I have, we had our own therapist, but I think in my marriage is more of that. We're going through something, and now I have my own therapist, and now we have a therapist, right? The next relationship was, okay, I know this about me. Meaning, I never stopped having my own therapist after that. And I know this about me, right?
Like something triggering almost.
I know
who I am.
But see, this is a level of self-awareness, Keron.
Yeah.
And a level of self-awareness that we're discussing in this room, and I think is beautiful. But also, that might be the reason why I end up single for the rest of my life. And I'm open to, because I love myself very well. But I think you cannot accelerate people's journey to self-awareness. You have to go through the shit. Yeah. And also, not that you're going through it, but as you're going through it, you're learning through it, and you're reflecting on not just the other. I think it's the easiest thing to do, especially when you talk to people that have gone through marriages that dissolved, that they like. It's so easy to be like, well, that person did, and that's what people like to hear when they ask you, like, so why are you divorced? They would like for you to turn and be like, well, this person did, and I never ever in my life ever was like, I'm never gonna be that person, because for anything that person did or you experienced, you played a part. There's two people in the relationship, whatever. Sure. So I love this idea that you have to be self-aware enough, because at this point you're married to that one person, yes, but you had relationships before, you've had relationships since, or situations, whatever you have after that, and if you're not reflecting, learning, and growing from every experience, you get stuck in this cycle where it's always like, well, it didn't work with that person because this, and it didn't work with that person because that. And it's always the other people. Yeah. So I love to say, I heard somewhere somebody say, just because you're married, your marriage was complete doesn't mean that it was, a disaster. Like some people feel like a marriage ending means that it was a failed marriage, as opposed to a reshift in thinking that that journey was complete. And for me, I look at what I got out of it. Like for me, the best part of it was my kid. She's 5, and without our combination of DNA, she would not exist. And if everything that it took for that relationship to come together, to be built on love, for her to come into it, for it to dissolve peacefully, and whatever else had to happen for her to have, to be who she is, would you do it all again? I would, and then now what do I take as the lesson to move forward and build a purposeful partnership, knowing what I know now that I didn't know in my little age, because I'm in a big age now. And so I think
that's always me beautiful. After any situationship cuts itself off, or relationship, like I'm always looking for what I can learn from it, because there's always something, like you said, we always play a part. And if I could give any advice to the younger people, it would be that too. Like, see what you could take from the situation and apply it to the next. Like maybe you weren't the best communicator. Yeah. Maybe, maybe you had some issues that were triggering that you didn't necessarily, tell this person about. Or maybe you just kind of lashed out, or whatever it may have been.
Maybe you let him pay for all the trips and now he's just tired of it.
Could be that too. But take something away from it.
Could be that.
And be coachable in a sense to where you can take those things and continue to allow them to be building blocks on the path ahead. Because if you don't, then again, you end up in that same cycle. Like, well, they did this and they did that, and you never hold yourself accountable for your own errors. So.
And I always say, people come into your life for a reason, season, lesson, or lifetime. Okay. And sometimes we take these reason people and try to make them lifetime, make these lesson people a season, and you just never know. So as soon as you figure out what that is, self-awareness, you take it for what it is, and you release.
Yeah. Because I'm a product for like 5 people that are really like being with different people and learning different things, because I was that person. I'm going to get this person done taught me something, that person taught me something. I'm a combination of about 6 people. Oh, yeah. But now I'm good. And then when I talk to those people, they be like, man, now, I was trying to teach you that, and you...
Oh, now you learned the lesson. Now she going to get the benefits of the lesson.
Because I'm a product of 6 people.
That's tough, man. It is. Now you got a different version of yourself. Yeah. I don't know.
And it's hard to see that, because like if only they had changed it at the time, and I was wanting them to change it, but that wasn't your season. Absolutely. You weren't the person that I was expected to do those things.
For sure.
They was there to teach you something.
It is hard to accept that this was just a lesson, for sure. It's hard to accept.
It's a hard lesson, especially if you're investing.
It be that investment. See, that's why I say I'm not. Hey, I don't want to invest nothing. I don't want you to invest nothing in me. If we start this thing and we figure out, hey, right here, about halfway through, hey, let's just call it.
Yeah.
Let's call it.
Let's go back to that. So here's the thing. Because you've been married, I've been married, right? And I was married for 12 years, right? So there was definitely investment. Obviously, right? And on the other side of that now is I can say, there are definitely things that I am applying. I applied in my subsequent relationships and still applying that are different from what I did in my original, right? Because I know that that wasn't probably where to go. I need to give people the opportunity to take care of me the way I want. And if I don't give them that opportunity, that's not really fair to me to go, take care of myself the other way, right? That's not fair at all, right? So I that's something that sticks with me. Those are my lessons. But without that investment, I may not have gotten there. Like if I'm a half-ass investing, how am I going to get there? That's why this idea of when alignment is over here, investment is this. So what if we invest and stop here? Did I waste my time?
No.
That's why that hurts me when I hear I'm not trying to waste my time.
Well, because you can only invest. I think you have to invest in proportion. He says, okay, so I'm gonna tell you. This is what my therapist told me, because there was a part after divorce where three of us have been divorced. This is point after divorce, in case y'all don't know this. Well, you're not for the shits. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come immediately out of it. Whatever you get into after that, it's like you're not doing a serious relationship thing. For me, at least.
Right. People to Cabo is what I'm doing.
Hey, I didn't go to Cabo, but I did something casual, which I've always been a relationship person my whole life. So I did more of a casual thing, like, okay, I'm just out of divorce. I'm just, I'm alive. Here we are. There's no accountability. There's no alignment. There's no purpose. It's hey, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think that's a different situation. But I think when you decide that you're to the point again where you're like, okay, let's be purposeful, let's do a thing that it requires a different energy. But I think what my therapist had to help me with was my initial response was, okay, I am an open book. If you can tell, like, the level of transparency I give, the vulnerability. When I get into proximity to someone, I am who I am. And my energy, they get to experience my light. And that means, like, whether that's cooking, whether that's leveraging resources. Hey, you know what? Let me put you in contact with my CPA, because this, what you said, is a hot mess. Like, you need to get your shit in order. Like, all of those things will start to happen. And so I think my initial response was to armor up. Was to be like, well, these niggas can't have nothing. I don't got nothing. Or my block list was long and quick, because I tried the app dating for a while. Oh, my block list was so strong. Oh, my block list was, what you say? Father. Block. I was blocking people so hard, so fast. I'm giving him nothing, because I already know what I have to give. And when you allow people to have access to you, and without getting your needs met, they will. And they will benefit from the beauty of your light, and without giving you what you need. And so it was like my initial response, they get nothing. Like Hunger Games. But my therapist helped me understand, like, you don't stop being who you are. You show up because that brings you joy. Because the opposite of that is that when you armor up, now you disturb your own peace, because that's not who you are. So now you're trying to talk to somebody, like you're saying, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like, what you want? Like, I'm trying to get to know you. I don't got nothing for you. I don't cook, no. But then the flip side of that, she's like, no, like, you continue to be who you are. And that's the investment. Yeah. But also that people have to earn that. Yep. They don't just get that because get access to you and what you have to give just because they ran up in your face. And so that's been the difference for me, is I think, to your point of, like, I'm going to be who I am. Like, I'm going to tell you what's true. Like, if I missed you, I'm going to say that. If you text me, I'm going to text you back when I finish. Like, let him text you 3 times first. Like, all this kind of games and shit. Like, hey, but I was sitting right by the phone. Why would I do that? Right. But at the same time, it might be about 3 weeks or a month where I might say, hey, it was really nice getting to know you. But, I think I'm not interested in investing romantically further. And being honest, because to me, I want somebody to be honest with me as quickly as possible. Please. And let's call it. Because sometimes like, don't drag somebody on and do a thing and they over here want to. Hey, it was nice getting to know you, but this thing right here doesn't work for me.
But we have to be self-aware, because sometimes we allow it to get dragged on.
Come on.
We'll allow it. I am a victim.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't even want to call it a victim, because I knew what was happening. Like, I seen the signs. Like, we call it the red flags.
It be that hope, baby. That hope so strong.
I'm such a hopeless romantic. Like, I believe in it. Like, yes, Lord. That's my man right there. my man. But that don't be the case. And I will try to see it.
My man.
I will try. I will see all the good things. I will weigh the options. I will do all the things until it slaps me in the face. And I'll be like, dang, I knew I should have left 2 months ago. I knew I should have stopped, because I seen this, and this, but I still was like, what?
And you betray yourself.
And you betray yourself.
So
and
every
you
time
allow
you
yourself
do,
to go through the motions, and you allow yourself, when you seen the signs, because we at a big age. We
that's
know.
Yeah. But that's the lesson.
So, and my friends think I'm halfway crazy, because I get in situations now and I'm like you, it's I almost feel like I'm a no limit soldier. Like I
one strike you out.
Not even a one strike, but when I realize and recognize that it's going on a path that I don't want it to necessarily take, I cut it off cold turkey. Like I don't want your number in my phone. And I say that. Listen, I say that only because I know myself. I don't trust me. I will definitely.
You had too much tequila. You had too much tequila. Be like, what you doing?
Right. And I hate putting myself in that situation because it starts that cycle all over again. So I have to almost go to extreme measures.
Know better.
I have to almost go to extreme measures.
I don't do the block. I don't
block.
I want you to see my life has continued after you.
The block is more so on my phone. Ooh, just for me. Because I don't want the FaceTime. I don't want the text message. I don't want you to think that 2 weeks later you can come back in after you've already
denied.
Right. You've already kind of ruined those chances.
I ruined it because I see that you're still checking for me. But I have nothing. I'm going to be I am done. Once I am done, I am done.
Oh, the extremes.
My friend called me out on it. She said, once you write it in your journal and you purge, because that's my way of purging. Like, I have released you.
Girl, I've been writing that journal for a year, about the same.
No, once I wrote it in my journal and I cried about it and I was done. And so now when I see him, them, whatever, I'm like, I feel nothing.
See, Bashia, I think you need to go therapy about this. It's giving scary. It's giving. Hold on, because it's a question between like the balance between a healthy release, because for me it's about surrender. Yeah. Especially if I have loved you honestly in my heart, then it's the surrender is almost like I went to a wilderness resort. It's like having your hand open or closed, and sometimes we clench because we want to hold on to something or try to resuscitate it. But the surrender is about opening my hand and releasing that thing.
Yeah,
but sometimes to hear you say like you release it and then you never be like what, but when you really like have your heart there.
Yeah, my heart was in
it when I was in it.
When I was in it. No, when I was in it, I am in it. Yeah. To the end, I will ride that thing to the wheels fall off. You don't even have a little heart palpitation? No, it's like I don't hate you. That's the thing. I don't hate you. I'm scared. You came into my.
It's a boundary that I didn't always know how to put in place. Right for me,
because when the tequila take hold, I'm gonna text you. And be like, so you ain't even think about me
because you came into my life for a reason, season, lesson, or lifetime. And once I decipher what that is, it's like, okay, it was great knowing you. You came into my life. I learned some things. I saw some things. I might have said
that last week, but then this week when the tequila hit, I'm like,
I dated a woman.
Everybody have been glistening on Instagram, and I might have just wanted to send you a message.
I don't even see them with the same eyes anymore. Like I see them, but I don't.
It takes me a while to get there, Bashia. I don't have it. It's healthy, but it takes a while to get there.
What does that mean, though?
Look at Keron.
He wants to understand. I'm with it.
You see nothing. You feel nothing.
Like what I felt. Like, let's say we was together and you posted a picture. I'm like, oh, my man, like, I see you or whatever, or I'll call you whatever. Now, if I see you, I'm like, okay, like, continue on. Like, it does nothing for me. I'm good.
But
trauma response.
I'll give an example. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out because I'll give an example. So,
it's your therapist right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, no,
for the regular pastime.
So there are things that. Like, when I see you, I don't see you the same way, right? That's agreed. But I'm not like disassociated from the fact that I love.
No,
it's like it's still in there a little.
Yeah, it's in there, but I'm not.
If it was real, okay. Let me say this. Because I think it's two parts. Okay, let me differentiate because I think y'all gonna make Bashia out to be Chucky in a minute. I think it's two parts to this. When you have a genuine friendship, like you're talking about with somebody, and then there's a romantic part, and I think. For me, in most of my situations, those have always been separate. I have a friend in somebody, and then we added a romantic element to it. And I think even if we decide this romantic element shit ain't gonna get it, like we have to sever that. As a friend, like I care about how you are. Yeah. Like I care about like how did that promotion shape up for you after all? Like I really care about like what did your mom ever get that hip fixed? Like I really care about whatever it was. And I think to be like and just cut it, to me it feels like was it really real or was it really something self-serving if I can just sever? Because you don't give me what I want, I could just sever it.
That's
and
why
walk
I feel
away.
that's how I feel with you guys. Because when y'all could just block, that's like, dang, did you care? Because with me, I still care. There's a care.
So you want to see still. So you don't block.
Even friendships, like we're not what we were. But I'm still happy for you. Yeah. You didn't have a baby. You didn't got married.
I don't want to be somebody's friend on Instagram because if you end up posting a girl or something,
I feel that.
No, like
I get what you're saying.
Like once again, it goes back to
I get what you're saying.
People come into your life for a reason, season, lesson, or lifetime.
I can understand.
And so therefore, I don't hate you. I wish you well. But what I felt, I don't feel anymore.
I need that. I need that though. I need that though.
What's your sign?
Cutting me off.
Capricorn.
Me too. Come on, see, I need.
I thought you was a Virgo.
I need that.
That's why I
care hard when I'm in it.
No, I'm Aries.
Yeah, I'm a Virgo. I am. Yeah.
I need that.
I am locked in though. That's
no, I feel you. I'm not mad at you, but we cool. But it is.
Yeah, like it just.
And I'm like you. I won't block you.
I'm not gonna block you.
I'm not gonna block you
because I have care for you. You came into my
life. I'm gonna pray for
you,
reason, and it's that. But
a lifetime. And I'm
congratulations.
Block is more for access. I don't want you to,
No, some people just block just to block.
Some people it's about the ego. Some people it's about the ego. If you don't give me what I want, then I'm gonna issue.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. It's just an access denial because I've given so much of you up front that now I don't have the space to do any of that. Nor do I want you trying to come back over and think. You know what I mean?
I make it so clear. It's no chance. Like once I'm done, I'm done.
Come on.
I'm done.
I'm trying to get there.
I'm at a big. We had a big age.
No, we had a big age.
I
think it takes me a while to get there, but then when I do get there, and then I hate to get there because I'll be like,
but you know what?
I'm here now.
That's the thing.
And so now it's the cut.
When you're in it,
but this is my thing for me, Bashia. For me, by the time I get to that point, I know I want to be able to say as a person that moves with love from a genuine place, and the friendship. I've done everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't change. But why you can't change?
But I feel like I do
though?
all of that while I'm in the relationship. And while we in the situationship, whatever it is, I try. I pull back. I get that little tequila. Like while I'm still in there, while I'm still there.
Maybe
but once I get to that journal and I purge, because I cry. I'm a crier. I'm emotional. So once I purge and I release you, I don't see you the same, but I wish you well.
Maybe this is just a matter of degree. I mean, because when I think about it, for me, mine takes a long time. It takes a long time for me to get there. When I do get there, it is very much.
It's like when you're there, it's like sorry for you, my boy.
I see you, I care, I love, but it's not a.
No bad blood, nothing of the sort.
I understand.
It's just
hard feelings.
No hard feelings. It was what it was, and you was great. I was great. Now we're not.
But we're not in alignment because that's what you get. I think some people want to demonize another person. For me, it's about not demonizing another person, but being like, for me, like. I think there's like I want you to be happy. I want you to be well. I want you to have joy. And there is somebody that's gonna be in alignment with baby. For me, I can't do it for you. So go ye therefore and figure that out with somebody you can be in alignment with because I think it's important. One, I think it's important for men to be with women they can lead. Yeah. I think don't try to get connected to somebody that you can't lead is another tip somebody should get to a young brother.
For sure.
So stay in a position where you are with somebody that you can lead. Otherwise, things get topsy turvy if you cannot.
No, this is true.
For me, it's just about find somebody that's in alignment with you, and I wish you well.
Everybody different. And
I am in a season of isolation.
Okay, so that's what it is.
Solitude.
Purposeful right now.
I've been open to it, but it's just people. I'd be like. Really? You thought so?
So that's the deal. So that's the deal breaker right there.
Don't read books.
They ain't reading.
I mean, it's not just about books. It's about people being open to growth and expansion. Like, how do you grow? How do you expand? How do you learn? Or do you think that this is about you want to get with somebody and then sit down and be like,
you'll find the right one. Because men do things for women. Everything we do is for women.
Everything.
But I say I don't want that.
That's what I'm
saying.
But you've exposed him to it, like he
right. Sometimes
grown man is already exposed to growth and reading.
But sometimes you may be the guy that may not know. Not saying that he won't read, but he may enjoy reading. He may enjoy reading with you, which may. Yeah, that he didn't know.
He never knew he needed,
it's all about exposure.
Loving that.
It's all about exposure.
Because you're going to bring something to the table that he didn't know about and vice versa. So
she's like, just not right now. I mean, let me isolate myself for right now.
Suggesting that I should expect to have to teach a man to read.
It's
no. You don't want all teach him to read.
See what you took it.
It goes to your point.
It's a compromise.
I'm just
a compromise. And I missed the ways he was loving me. It goes to your point. I like that. You're right. I think women miss this.
Okay.
Help us. When a man loves you, he's doing it for you.
Absolutely.
Even when you don't see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No matter what, he might be doing something and you be like,
Yeah.
he's doing it for you.
Oh,
For sure.
I ain't even
That's how we
using my
roll.
sign.
For sure. I believe that.
He's doing it for you.
And then when his heart get hurt, man, I ain't even read till I met her.
No, for real. It's so many
You gonna
things.
leave me? I wouldn't even read.
On these
Which is why we get to look back and
turn the
on
man's
these
life around.
podcasts, trying to expand.
He's like, I ain't
Right.
I ain't
Which
learned
is
to read
why
till I
a lot
met
of
her.
times when he go into another relationship, he ain't never read when he was with me, but now
See?
he's a reader. That's because you exposed him to
Flowers to reading to anything.
open
Whatever
doors,
it may be.
Surprises.
Paying for trips.
Come on.
paying
All
for
of
trips,
it.
What's coming?
buying houses, all the things,
All of
building
that.
hard,
All of
building
that.
what you said,
Yeah.
Building
a bench, like it
Or one
happens,
time. Yeah.
whatever it
Building a
is.
bench,
I ain't
right?
never built no bench before, but
But
baby, like,
you'd be
okay.
surprised.
I hear y'all.
I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Certain
Y'all have
different
renewed my faith in the black man today.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
I
man.
might
Got
have
to.
another year in the black pool.
Give us 2.
2 years in the
more.
black
Three.
too.
Yeah, maybe 3. Maybe 3.
Jesus.
Maybe
So what I hear is my life. Give your life to the black
Yeah.
man. Okay.
2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years.
Just give it some
2 to 3
time,
years.
but stop speaking it into existence. Stop saying I'm gonna be by myself.
I'm really saying that for jokes for the podcast, but
Okay.
I really have set my intentions on purposeful partnership. That's the reason why I'm having this
Okay.
episode. So I just be
Yes.
joking about being by myself, just because I have it's a journey to contentment
It
for
is.
me.
But that could put
And I think
pressure
a
on
lot
the
of
black man.
women date
Yeah.
out of desperation.
They
Because
do.
okay, I'm
You
gonna
be
give y'all this
fucking
last example because I'm sure we're gonna get kicked out. I'm gonna give y'all this last example. I have a loved one who had a falling out with her baby's father and whatever. And at this point, she had gotten tested. You know, she wanted to make sure she's good because she's ready to have a sexual partner. And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna call this guy, some guy she know, you know the type. They're gonna pull up,
Yeah.
and da 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 because I just need something, da da da. And we're having this conversation, and what I'm translating into with my mind is desperation sexually. And so then she says, and so I say to this person, because they're a loved one, sweetheart, do you know how to pleasure yourself? What? No, I don't be doing that. Da, da, da. It's like she's outraged at the idea that she might actually have some pleasure without a man being involved in it. But also, she's admitting to me that this is a man that ain't shit and ain't nothing. Just
all
he
he
ain't
got.
worth nothing else. That's all he gonna pull up and do. And da, da, da. She don't like him. He ain't nothing to her. He means her no good.
Yeah.
And
For
so the idea that that's just for one category, but for some women it's finances. The sprinkle lady is all the rage on the internet, and all she suggests is that women should be using men for their money. Well, he ugly, but I don't care. When we go to the store, his credit card look good, so sprinkle. Let him do what he gonna do. Let him pay your bills. Like all of these different ideas, whether it's financial, whether it's physical. When women people move from a place of desperation, I feel like they never get what they actually desire because you're just moving to just stick and move and grab. And so for me, when I say I will be by myself, I mean I have purposeful solitude, that I enjoy my peace. You know, everything is, cool. And if somebody can expand and be a part of that, that's great, lovely, beautiful. Not just for us, but for our communities, because I do see how great relationships become extensions into the families and communities. You know, we're able to take care of our elders. We're able to raise our children, like all of these beautiful things that we can do and be with. So I believe in that, y'all. Okay, y'all don't be looking at me like I believe in it. That's why we're here having this episode.
Absolutely.
But I'll just be joking when I be like I'll be by myself, but no, really.
And sometimes you have to take that time to step back. It's a reflective period. It's a time. Like my prayer at one point in time was, Lord, hide me so I could get myself together. Because I knew the things that I was doing, I wasn't moving right.
What'd you say, Brandi? Keep them on my face, Lord.
Hide me, Lord.
Block
Just
them.
hide me.
Don't let them see these dimples.
Don't let them. I can't turn them out. I need you to hide me, Lord.
Yeah.
Just for the time being, so I can work on myself and be a better person when I do step back up.
But also because if your desire is to do something better than what you've done before, you have to become a better version of yourself.
For sure.
You do.
But sometimes
And
you
to
have to
attract more.
kind of, just like with your loved one or whatever. I mean, if she's just in that space of that's what she was looking for
all
at
she
that
was.
time.
Double back.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, do what you do. We at that. Would say big age.
Grown.
Yeah, just do what you do.
But
the
you
guy
could
that's
have
spending money.
But she could have already got that. what she needed was a release, and there are things that happen inside of your body.
She
when
wanted
you
a
get
real
that
release.
It's real. I'm telling you, it's
she
real.
wanted but she
It's real.
wanted
2 minutes flat. I mean, it's real, and now you sleep.
And
Nobody had to
that's
come
all she
over.
wanted.
Nobody had to.
That's all she.
She probably wants some.
Yeah, that's all real is.
Yeah,
and that's fine. That's fine. That's cool.
About what she did though,
because
she said, "This is what I want."
Exactly.
And she knew
she
that
was
that was
honest about
the
it.
sole purpose
That's
of
all
the
you gonna
individual.
get.
So,
And she also was honest about the fact that this was a person that had treated her
what I
terribly in the past, but
But
now you about to
sexually
recycle
pleasing,
somebody
But he's there for a purpose.
She
Goddamn
is
right.
But
it's
think about
okay, 'cause she know what
dichotomization.
she
We need a
wants.
whole other episode about
That is.
dichotomization.
She know what she wants. It's not.
They on the same
It'll
page.
make you your common
basically.
sense will go out.
Absolutely.
Out your
She really
mind.
do.
It
Absolutely.
could.
See, that's why it's not worth it. Just
But
go
she knew
home
what she wanted.
and go to bed.
You might want somebody to rub your booty. That's it. Cuddle. It's intimacy.
Ain't nothing wrong with
You can
that.
put all that work
Ain't
in with your
nothing
hands.
wrong with
It's
that.
okay when it does.
Yeah.
It's okay when it doesn't require you to forfeit your peace. That's all I'm
true.
saying. As
Why
long
is
as
it-
it don't
why
require
is it
There's
that.
plenty of times where I just want to cuddle too, frankly.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Somebody you don't like?
I know y'all be thinking it's
But that's
Netflix
the
and
thing.
chill, but you know,
Oh, man.
They
Just-
like
Just-
Yeah,
you
we don't
just-
want. We don't want
Somebody
to
cuddle if you don't like them.
But everybody,
Like-
it
just
don't
like you're
always
saying.
have to be
Then you
toxic.
call
That's the
somebody you
thing.
want to cuddle with.
Just like you're saying.
It's
You're
not
saying,
always a toxic
"Man, I got
situation.
I'm
my
not saying that's. I'm just saying that's how people operate. They
That's it.
find somebody for that particular situation.
So you mean to tell me people want to cuddle with somebody they don't like?
I'm not saying I'm not gonna say
I'm
that.
not saying that.
I'm not saying
But,
that.
I
He
mean,
said
it-
kind of like.
I don't like you all. Yeah, I don't like you all in a way.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't dislike
Yeah.
you, but I mean, I like you.
Yeah.
Y'all silly.
like them enough for that
Yes,
for that reason.
And don't feel sorry for the person that's paying for the trips. They know
They know what they doing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They know.
yeah, no. We going
Guys
on
know
And
that.
9 times out of
Yeah, they
10,
paying
let me
for
just
it.
tell you this:
Yeah.
9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
if the guy's offering, that's like quarters to him. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
an investment
Yes.
per se.
Yeah.
He not like somebody
hard
else
up
could be
for
like,
it.
oh my god, he
That's
spent
my last.
$1,000 on me,
Where's
da da da, and he
And that's
made
less
that
work
in
he
2
gotta do.
minutes.
It's an exchange.
That's less work you
I'm
gotta do. He
spending
ain't
my
gotta do
money,
no whole
it's
bunch of
exchange.
talking and this and that.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
you wanna go on a
exchange.
trip?
We're
See that
ashamed.
sunset and your
Just
eyes
a
gonna
little,
get-
little
Just
get
like
away.
your pop said.
Prostitution
Yeah.
is
Eyes get big and what's
To each his
Yeah,
own.
up
Get
and down.
that bobblehead.
Yeah. Well, I would like to thank the panel for this conversation that went
Thank
on
you.
with your ways and definitely ran over time. For being here, for offering your insights to our audience. Hopefully, you have gotten something that will help you on your journey, especially if you're dating at a big age, because you know it's different out
It's
here.
hard out here.
But it's important for us to, I think, have the kind of conversations as Black people that are going to cause us to, one, not lose hope, you know, two, keep investing in each other, and three, as an extension of our love for ourselves and each other, that our communities will be made whole and better and stronger as a result of the type of conversations that we had today. So thank y'all for coming. I appreciate y'all. And
Appreciate
until next time, namaste, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Namaste, y'all. If you haven't already, be sure that you follow us wherever you get your social media fixes. And also make sure you check out our upcoming community events, because we want to connect with you, not just in the virtual space, but in person. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Namaste, y'all.